raw materials, including lithium and rare earths, are likely to soon be more important than oil and gas as Europe aims for a zero-carbon future.
Rare earth supply chains are the linchpin to the European Union's industrial policy ambition for transitioning to greener technologies. Right now, almost all rare earth sintered permanent magnets that are needed for the drivetrain motors of electric vehicles are all manufactured predominantly in China.
You have to realize today Europe's totally dependent on lithium imports.
Hello and welcome to Business Planet. The small coastal town of Saaremaa in Estonia is home to the only commercial rare earth separation facility in Europe. But what are rare earths and why are they so integral to so many new technologies?
Rare earths are the critical raw materials needed for the European Union's transition to green technologies. Case in point, neodymium and praseodymium, two rare earth elements that we process at Silmet, and then we will be using them to make sintered rare earth permanent magnets that are energy saving and used in the drivetrain motor of electric vehicles, saving, in some cases, over 20% of the battery size needed for the electric vehicles.
There are 17 rare earth elements that have hundreds of uses, from missile guidance systems to banknotes, although the main use is for making ultra-powerful magnets.
This is an niobium metal. This metal is then inserted in the electron beam chamber. This chamber operates at about 30,000 volts. This, in return, these electron beams melt the metal and it drips much like water. This way, we purify it to 99.999999%, the highest purity of niobium and tantalum produced outside of China, which is critical for jet engines, for space rockets, or other applications.
Europe is well aware of the need for new mines, as well as strengthening the entire raw materials value chain. At the moment, it's dependent on a small number of third countries, in particular China, which supplies 66% of all critical raw materials and 98% of rare earths. To address this, the EU will present a Critical Raw Materials Act, leveraging the power of the single market to ensure Europe has a diverse and reliable supply of these materials, while ensuring high social and environmental standards. For example, Neo Performance Materials is a member of the Responsible Minerals Initiative.
We concentrate first of all on the origin of the material, then how the plant is operating, are they paying taxes, how do they take care about people's rights and human rights, because this is the most important aspect in the operating of every facility.
When it comes to lithium, as well as rare earths, Europe is dependent on other countries, notably Australia, China and South America. Yet it's an essential component in the batteries of electric vehicles. French company Imerys hopes to exploit lithium deposits found below its kaolin mine in Beauvois, central France.
With lithium requirements in Europe set to increase tenfold by 2030, there needs to be more and more locally developed projects to reduce this dependence. So it's essential to source, find and develop lithium extraction projects in France and in Europe. The object of the Beauvois project is to supply 34,000 tonnes of lithium hydroxide per year, which is what's needed for about 700,000 electric vehicles per year.
Another key component of the Critical Raw Materials Act is investing in and supporting innovative recycling. Of course, the more raw materials that can be recycled, the fewer need to be mined. Back in Estonia, in Narva, Neo plans to join up part of the rare earth supply chain with the construction of Europe's first magnet manufacturing facility and R&D centre that will use the separated magnetic rare earth oxides produced in Saaremaa. Situated near the Russian border, the plant will help the city wean itself off the local oil shale industry, with the hope of pushing the sun to set on the fossil fuel era.